As I said before, the Godzilla franchise had been waning for some time now, and the producers themselves thought they had already burned through all their ideas. So Toho just decided to go out with a bang and retire its character. This bang was Destroy All Monsters, that brought together all of Godzilla's original daddies, minus Shinichi Sekizawa, to assemble Toho's most fearsome creatures in a last battle against, and ultimately, for humanity. And since I've already started this line of thought a few videos ago, yes, you could say this is Toho's Infinity War. The year is 1999, and humanity has solved its giant monster problem by basically creating Kaiju Alcatraz. Monsterland is an island where all of Earth's worst creatures have been confined, and where they can live without causing any more trouble. Among its inhabitants are Godzilla and his son, Rodan and Mothra, who's a larva again for some reason, and hey, it's Angerus, and he's alive. And there's also... who are these people? What is Amanda? Guys, help me out here, I didn't watch any of the other movies. As you can see by now, this is not just a send-off of the Godzilla franchise, but also a send-off of Toho's giant monster flicks as a whole. Because, despite being the most popular of them, Godzilla was certainly not the only movie monster around, and just part of a much bigger trend. One day, the UN loses contact with its crew stationed at Monsterland, and shortly after, several of the monsters that were imprisoned there start appearing in cities all over the world, causing massive mayhem. In an attempt to solve this mystery, a team of astronauts, led by Captain Yamabe, is sent to the deserted island. There, they discover that all the scientists on the place, including Yamabe's sister Kyoko, are under the control of the Kilex, an alien race that wants to conquer the Earth for non-disclosed reasons and intend to do that by controlling the planet's monsters. And if that sounds a lot like the plot of Invasion of Astro Monster, it's because it is, and it only gets worse. The astronauts hurry to leave the place as fast as they can, but not before taking one of the scientists with them on their way out. Said scientists sadly prefer to die to reveal the aliens' evil plans to the humans, but his autopsy shows that he and the other ones were being controlled through a small device inserted under their skins, just below the ear. While the good guys are busy trying to figure out where the signal that controls both the humans and the monsters is coming from, Tokyo gets attacked by Rodan, Mothra, Godzilla and Manda all at the same time, basically pulverizing the city. I honestly have a hard time liking this film, not because it isn't good, but, well, it's just Monster Zero March again. It sounds as if Akira Ifukube was plagiarizing himself. This is a little distracting and detracted a lot from the music for me, keeping me from feeling appreciating it. Anyway, the heroes are licking their wounds when Kyoko comes to their encounter to threaten them, I think. It's not a little bit effective, and they manage to free her from the alien's control by getting rid of the receiver located in Kyoko's earring. Later, they come to the conclusion that the Kilex base must be located near Mount Fuji because, you know, that's what the monsters are protecting. By studying the villain's receivers, the scientists of Earth discover that they've been controlling the monsters from somewhere on the moon, and so they send Yamabe's crew there to neutralize the threat. I'm sorry, but does this guy look like Michael Peña to you? Like an Asian Michael Peña? Think carefully about that. The astronauts shoot their way through the bad guy's base, neutralizing the control device and also revealing the Kilex's true form, metal slugs. No, not that one. These ones. Back on Earth, they discover that the humans managed to gain control over the giant monsters, and are now sending them to attack the Kilex base at Mount Fuji. But the invaders still have one last trick, namely King Ghidorah, who appears at the last minute to fight the creatures of Earth. Just like an invasion of the Astro Monster. He starts putting up a good fight, even wiping the floor with Angerus because his spikes are obviously just for show. But as soon as they knock Ghidorah down, it becomes a very one-sided... Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I know it's just people in rubber suit, but holy cow, this is brutal. Once Ghidorah has been beaten into a pulp, Godzilla just kicks the front door of the alien's base and the whole thing simply explodes, solving humanity's problem for good. With the crisis averted, the monsters are returned to Monsterland, where they live happily ever after. Wait, is that it? Is that the movie? This is not even good riff material, for Pete's sake. In an attempt to cram every single character in their catalog into one single movie, Toho accidentally created something that is completely bland and devoid of personality. I mean, it's not a Godzilla movie, it's not a Mothra movie, not even a Rodan movie. It is no one's movie. Kinda like Infinity War. Add to the mix the fact that this is basically a ripoff of the second half of Invasion of Astro Monster, and the result is a flick that has nothing particularly exciting about except for the premise of having every single Toho monster on screen at the same time. And not even that it does right. Some monsters only appear for a few seconds, while others, like Rodan, are heavily featured through most of the movie but completely forgotten during the final battle, and none of them get enough screen time. And I'm probably going to be crucified for what I'm about to say, but Final Wars does a much better job with the exact same premise. At least I know who the star of that movie is. But as always, money talks louder than anything else, because Toho's Gambit ultimately paid off, and Destroy All Monsters was a huge success in Japan, meaning that Godzilla would stay around for a little longer. Too bad the studio had burned all their budget with this movie, meaning the next one would have to be... well, you will see.